Welcome back to another episode of NaytonTech. A couple weeks ago, I was contacted by a company called Lameeku. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. They're spelled Lameeku. They offered to send me a couple of their universal cell phone stands to do a review on. Most of their stuff is designed for Apple products. Since I don't own any Apple products, my review is going to be based strictly from an Android standpoint, since that's all I own. So take that into account, but most of the stuff kind of works universally. They sent me their kind of most generic ones for that point. The first one of these I'm going to talk about is their universal one. It's made out of 4mm thick aluminum. It comes in black, red, and silver colors. It does have rubber pad on the bottom, which does give it quite a bit of grip. Actually, I'll show you. Giving it quite a bit of, doesn't want to move. Has the same rubber for back here and also for the base of the cell phone. Does have a cable organizer for the back. I'm going to be testing these out. A couple reviews that I read that this likes to pop out fairly easy when you're pulling the cables through, so that's definitely something that I'm going to test. I think that's pretty much going to be about the only so-so part on these, if it does have any issues with the cables that I run through it. It could be cable specific. The degree of angle on this, and I couldn't find any specifics on what the actual degree was, but I like how it angles the cell phone. Let me grab my cell phone here. When the cell phone's on there, it angles it high enough to where, or up enough to where if you're watching a video or anything like that, it's actually a really good angle. This other one, and I'll show you here in a bit on this other one, I think it tilts back a little bit too far. But this one, as far as watching videos, doing things on there, even when you're tapping it, it doesn't really move that much. And I'm giving it quite a bit of force here. They do offer a 60-month warranty on these, which I can't really see much going wrong with one of these. But they do offer a 60-month warranty. This one goes for about $9 to $10 on Amazon, so they're fairly cheap. I had to look up what these two magnets on the back were for, and if you use some of the Apple products, one of their standard cable has a magnet on it, so you can actually set it out of the way and it'll stay up and attach to those magnets when you're not using it. Not something that most of us Android people have. All right, so on to the big one. This has got a lot more features on it. Full rubber pad here on the bottom. This feels almost a little stickier than that one, but it may just be because it doesn't have as much stuff on it. On the back, you have the same 3-slot grommet. Standard cell phone spot on the top. My Pixel 2 XL, so you can kind of see how that looks. Like I said, I've got high-res pictures of all of these on my blog, if you guys want to see that. For the Apple Watch, this is where the charger would go. It's looks like a little puck. On the back side here, you can see the cable management, where the cable would go through here. Your little notch cut out there. These are for the AirPods. This spot here is where the AirPods would go. The charger would go this way. And then if you happen to have an Apple Pen, see if I can get this in the... If you have an Apple Pen, you can charge it there as well. So I will be using these for my Pixel 2 XL to charge at night. I'm actually going to remove this grommet, and I've got this is the charging base for my Asus Zen watch, the first one. About 3 years old. I still have it. It works great. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to remove this grommet and attach this here. But since the charging port is on this side, what I bought, and I actually bought this already, I bought a 90-degree angled USB, micro USB cable that I can plug in. And hopefully I can get this to where it'll route like so. See if you can see that here. That way it still completely avoids my Pixel 2 XL without trying to run the cable underneath my phone. So I'm going to attach that there, use it for the week. I'll be putting my Pixel Buds here to charge. and I don't, the pen that I have for my Pixelbook doesn't need to be charged, so I may just put the pen that I keep with me. I've got a Zebra, I think it's an F701, a nice stainless steel pen that I carry with me all the time. So I put it there just for storage at night. This, I actually tried some bigger things on this. It will not hold my Pixelbook, it's a bit too big, but it does hold the wife's Asus, I think it's a C101, I think that was the model. Anyway, it's a 10-inch Chromebook, flips all the way around, so I actually set it on here with just the screen up, and it kind of in tablet mode, and it held it just fine. It didn't feel like it was going to wobble or anything. If I put it in kind of a, like not tent mode, but normal laptop mode, you got the keyboard and then the screen up top, it wanted to fall backwards, it wouldn't stay on. So you can use, I would probably say up to about a 10-inch tablet on this if you wanted, you're cooking or whatever, and you wanted it set up. This actually is big enough to hold one of those. It has enough weight so it doesn't want it to topple over on you. Same warranty. This one has a 60-degree angle. This one's a little bit sharper. I'm probably guessing around like maybe a 75-degree where this one's at. You guys can kind of see that there. This one has a 60-degree, definitely a big difference in angles. This one's better for viewing stuff, but all preference on really what you're using it on. If you do have an Apple Watch, this does support the 38 and the 42 millimeter watch sizes. I will review these for a week and get back to you.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
I've used both of these devices for the last week, and we're going to start off with my 1 week later review or impressions of both of these. I'm going to start off with the universal stand. I love this stand. I like how simple it is. I use this at work mainly just to hold my cell phone so I can get notifications and whatnot, so it's up off the desk. I like the angle that it's at. This I believe is a 60-degree angle. I like the pad on the bottom. It's got a lot of grip. I didn't find myself having to move it around very much. Once I set it where I liked it, I'd take my phone on and off of it, and it didn't want to move. I didn't use any charging while at work. My Pixel 2 XL usually gives me almost 2 days of battery, so I didn't really have any issues with or needing a cable punched through the back of this to charge my phone during the day. So didn't really have a chance to use that. But as far as the pads go, the quality on this, I love the thickness of this. The 4 millimeters thickness of this aluminum really gives it a nice sturdy feel. So when you are using it, hitting the screen and whatnot, it doesn't move, it doesn't flex. So positive for that. I would probably own one of these or purchase one of them on my own if I wasn't reviewing one. The angle on it, everything, if you're going to be using it to watch movies, do anything with, this is a very good universal stand for Android, Apple, tablets. It pretty much fits the bill for all of it. Probably my only little gripe that I have on this, the lip for these two right here is a hair high. I found myself, when I was testing a video on Plex with it, I noticed that these were up just high enough to where it was hard for me to hit the play pause button right along the bottom. So if you're trying to use something along the bottom on this, on a phone, tablet, you may not have that much of an issue with because it's got a little bit more of a border. But with my Pixel 2 in there, you can see they cover up the bottom. So trying to get right in here on the bottom of the screen or the side of the screen there can be a little cumbersome. So that's probably my only little gripe with the universal one. This one, for an Android user, it probably isn't going to be your best option. For Apple, I think it would work fine. If you can see what I did here, this is for my Asus ZenWatch 1, and all I did is I just took, since this is mainly going to be temporary for testing purposes, and I'll probably still continue to use this, but I might have to be a little more creative with the cabling on it. But I just did some Velcro on the back here to hold this. I mean, it works great, but with the hole here, not much of the Velcro is actually staying attached. So I might have to come up with something creative for that. So I'll kind of show you how this works with everything on it. So my watch basically just pops in here. This part I like. It's really easy to get the watch in and out. You can still see the display instead of it sitting flat on a table. My phone with this 90-degree power cable that I bought, it does fit. You can see here the fitment. So I don't have any issues with fitment on this. Everything fits pretty good. I think my issue with it is that it's just not designed for Android in general, which is kind of hard to do because there's so many different, there's so many different watches, there's so many different phones and styles and sizes, thicknesses, all that kind of stuff, and even headphones. I mean, how many different, Bluetooth headsets are there? I mean, you can't make one universal device that's going to fit for all of it. So, like I said, for the Android users, if you have devices like this that you think would fit, and you've seen how I've done mine, it might work great for you. So you can plug. I noticed some of the cables, and it could be just fitting it, but you kind of have to fiddle with the cables a little bit. This cable, if you're going to use a cable for this cable's too thick. So when I plug it in, it kind of wants to move the bottom of my phone around a little bit to where it wants. So I've got some extra slack, but if I try to pull this cable through, you can see that it's going to want to move my phone a little bit. So it doesn't want to sit in there perfect how you'd want. So something to think about, if you've got a smaller cable that's got a little more flex in it, this is a thick braided mental thing, mental note on that. So it looks nice, everything sits on there nice. Like I said, I don't think it would be one that I would have bought for myself just because I'm an Android user, not an Apple user. So all of my stuff I'd have to kind of, like I said, I've had to kind of jerry rig it a little bit to fit the way I want. But as far as quality goes, as far as looks go, it all fits, it all fits on there. I didn't have any problems with the grommet on the back. Even pushing this bigger one through, as long as you're careful, even pushing this cable back and forth through, it's not wanting to come in and out. So it could be the type of cable that you have. This one actually seems to pull a little bit harder because it's rubber. But I didn't have any problems. Once I got the cable, the big ends of the cable through, I haven't had any problems with the grommet wanting to pop in and out. So plus there, like I said, that was the one issue that I was reading about, that people have had issues with this popping in and out. This one tilted back a little bit too much for my liking. As far as if I'm sitting at a desk and the desk is going to be up here a little bit higher, I think it's tilted back too much. If you've got it on your counter or actually like even where I've got it now, this height would be great for having a phone at. It's going to angle it right at you. So it really depends on where you're using it. For a desk purpose, this is angled back too much in my opinion. But for kitchen counter, a workspace or not where you're standing, I think this is a little bit a better angle. For a tablet or whatnot, if you've got it there and you're looking at a recipe or whatnot in the kitchen. If you're an Apple user, I think it would fit perfectly for what you need, as long as you have the AirPods, the watch, and the phone. I think it's a great stand for those users. For us Android people, it's probably not the best fit, but as far as quality goes, this universal one, definitely something you'd want to pick up if you want to stand just for sitting at work. It works great landscape and portrait for the Pixel 2 XL. Even my Nexus 6 and the Nexus 4 that I have, all of them fit and worked great on there. I will put links below to Amazon as well as the Lameeku website where you can purchase these. The universal small one goes for about $10, and the larger one that's designed for the Apple devices goes for around the 23 to 24 range. So if you have any questions, definitely post them below in the comments. I will answer them, and we'll see you next time.